Welcome everybody to my second review here at the Game Warrior. My name is Jason F. Smith, and my first review was Time Stories right here. So if you want to watch that, go check. I'll put the link down below. The reason you might be interested in doing that is because the review today is the Marcy case, which is an expansion to the Time Stories board game. Okay, this is an expansion, which means that you need to own this, which is about 50 bucks. And this is usually about 20 to 25 on Amazon. I'll put the links down below. So as I told you, in the Time Stories board game, it's an immersive game where you go into a story and you solve a mystery. It has a lot to do with time and going back in time. And so the way it works is really neat because you go investigate different settings, right? And you solve different puzzles. So this one is 1992. See that right there? And that's the setting for where you go. So you're in the future somewhere in the game and you come back in time into receptacles, into characters, into people, and you solve this puzzle. Took us about 12 hours, 3 runs. We went through it a number of times. So while the cost for this one, you know, for four people was pretty good, 50 bucks to play that. This was even better cost value. Now you have to own that. You have to. The base components of the game are there, and this is just the additional new story. So this is kind of an interesting idea where you have a base game and then you keep buying new games for new stories. And again, this is a one-play thing. I can't play this again unless I get hit in the head with a fucking shovel and never, and forget and have to start over. So the strength of this game for a lot of people was the original scenario story, which was back in Lovecraftian kind of setting back in the 1920s in an insane asylum. This is the 1990s. Now, I thought this would kind of be like grunge era stuff, I mean, 1990s felt like grunge to me. It was less that. In fact, it has kind of a different theme. I don't want to ruin it for you. It's a theme you're very familiar with. It's a big cultural, popular thing in TV and in movies of our age. So it didn't really have much to do with 1992, if you ask me. Right? The cassette tape. I thought this was going to be back in the times of cassettes, but that doesn't make much sense too, because by the early 90s, who the hell was listening to cassettes? No one was. It was all CDs by then, right? So was this any good? Was this any good? It was fantastic. Absolutely love the Marcy case. Got our rhythm. The first time you play Time Stories, that first game, and you play it for, a whole weekend, Saturday and Sunday, like I told you, you're like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck is going on? It's just like, you've never played anything like it. And this time we knew what we were doing a little bit, right? And there's twists and turns in each new set. I've come to learn new little mechanics for how the game works that you have to learn and pick up. And you start to figure out, the flow of the container that holds you, which is the game. And then you start to really figure out, what's expected here. Where do I put my time and my energy? And again, because it's a time-based game, you have a limited amount of time to solve your issues. And so because of that, it becomes a game of optimization. So you've got to optimize your time and efforts to get the solution done. And so that's one of the puzzles within the game, is the concept of optimization. And then you actually have puzzles. Now there's a puzzle at the end of this that, I told you how many people love the Time Stories puzzle, and I wasn't a fan of that. I think it was broken. I really didn't like it, but so many people do. The puzzle here, this was such a good puzzle. We solved it at the end, and it was one of those aha moments, and we were high-fiving, cheering, fuck yeah! I mean, we were losing our shit around the gaming table when we figured this one out. So a puzzle that's really challenging, and you figure out and you get the right one, and everything comes together, woo! It is fun. A lot of time and effort went into that. a lot of questions. And like I told you last time, like it's a game where in between sessions, when you go to eat lunch, you sit there, you're thinking about it. And we tend to play this on a gaming weekend, so it's a Saturday, Sunday kind of thing, right? So I mean, Saturday night, you are just like going to bed going, thinking, what could it be? All these things. So the Marcy case, oh, by the way, let me tell you a little bit about this that you should know if you don't know, is that, so these stories go in order. So this is the next story to play. Now, you don't have to play them in order, but if you do, you're gonna get an Uber story-ish. Like there's a story. So it's kind of like if you think about watching Marvel movies, right? Obviously, when I do my reviews, I think note to fucking idiot self, turn phone off. It's like Marvel movies, right? So all the movies are out. It's like, this is a story, this is a story, this is a story. And then you start to see, oops, my camera just went out of focus. Well, that sucks. How do I unfuck that? There we go. That's how you unfuck it. You lean back far enough. You've never seen a review like this, have you? Okay. And so the Marvel movies, you know, you watch them, and then you find out they all come together in the Avenger movies and everything's coming together. I'm hoping that's what's happening here. As of the recording of this, we've done 4 this Samaritan. No, 3. The base and 3. And so following this will be 2 more reviews, Prophecy of Dragons and Under the Mask. So I'm hoping that that whole story comes together in a big way, kind of like an Avengers Infinity thing. Right now, as a standalone, the Marcy case was delightful, just a joy. And I think you'll find if you liked the first game, despite that horrible puzzle that breaks the game, you will like this and you'll enjoy it. And a lot of people overthink these things, you know, like I know there's some reviews out there, people going, oh, this one's not as good as that, and this is this. I have a friend who said he's played them all, and he's just, what's not to like? He loves them all. And so, that kind of attitude going into this with our group, we're highly competitive people. We really spend a lot of time thinking and figuring this out, and we take this shit seriously. And we have so far we've just enjoyed each one. So that's kind of a little bit of a spoiler for the next 2 reviews so far. But right now, the Marcy case, it's like $20, I think. I mean, it is just a fantastic weekend with your gaming group. So everybody out there, thank you for watching.